Increased inventory leads the way to market stabilization. Is this going to be a stable market in Seattle this summer? Stay tuned, we're gonna dive into all the numbers you need to know about what happened in the June real estate market in Seattle and King County. Okay, so we're diving into the numbers from June, and stay tuned, we're gonna show you at the end of this video the past 5 years and how 2024 is stacking up against those, so you won't wanna miss that part of this video. So this month, the MLS came out with the headline, "Increased Inventory Leads the Way to Market Stabilization," basically saying that the 30-year fixed rate mortgage is still pretty high. At the time of their publication, it was at 6.86%. It's really hovered right around 7% for the past couple of months, going a little bit above and a little bit below. And that means that buyers are having a harder time purchasing homes because their monthly payment is higher with this increased interest rate. Now, this interest rate may or may not come down as we get into August and September. We are hoping that it will, but there's certainly no guarantee. We hope that inflation is stabilized and that would bring that interest rate down, hopefully. Now, what really has come out because of this headline and the word stabilization being thrown around is that year over year closed sales transactions actually decreased by 3.1% across the MLS, but the inventory or the number of homes that are available have increased relative to last year in June. The number of homes are up 35.7%. That is a huge amount. So the number of available homes for buyers is way up, but the number of closings has gone down. So we see demand has softened a little bit and supply has increased. So this is creating more of a stable market. Now, it's not as good for sellers, obviously, because homes are not flying off the shelves as quickly as they used to. This happens almost every single year. We see at the beginning of the year, buyers are super active. The sellers who price and list their home at the beginning of the year are going to get droves of buyers. And then as we go through the first 6 months, those buyers tend to trail off. Now, that's exactly what has happened this year as well. And that's why when you list with us, I always tell you, make sure that you're listing at the beginning of the year. Don't wait for just the pretty spring months because your buyers have sort of lost interest by that point. So now we're seeing the stabilization in the market. That's because of these higher levels of homes available and the number of sales is decreasing. So some takeaways for June 2024, the median residential price for homes and condos in 2024 across the whole Northwest Multiple Listing Service was $650,000. That is up over June of last year of 2023. That's up by 4%. So the prices are still going up even though we see more homes listed and fewer sales. The highest median sales prices were in San Juan, King County at $875,000. As I've said in prior videos, if you haven't watched, be sure to go back and take a look. That number is a little bit higher when you look specifically at Seattle, not just all of King County. Now, there was an increase in active number of listings, up by 35.7% across the total MLS. So that was the active listings as compared to the end of June in 2023 when there were only 10,607 listings. We're up about 4,000, almost 4,000 from that number last year. So 4,000 more homes available. And specifically in King County, the active inventory, the number of homes listed is up 43.3% from last year. It's one of the 6 highest counties in the Northwest Multiple Listing Service where that has come up. Now, the number of closed transactions we said is down 3.1%. So that means fewer homes are closing the sale this month. And that is actually a reverse from April and May of what we just saw. So April and May, we saw the number of closed sales go up and now we're seeing it come back down. So again, we've reached that peak, in my opinion, for the first 6 months of the year, and June is softening a little bit from where we saw it in April and May. Now, months of inventory, I describe this as the velocity of the market, but it basically means if we stop selling homes today or bringing them on the market, how long would it take to sell every existing property? And across the Northwest Multiple Listing Service, it's about 2.17 months of inventory. King County has one of the lowest months of inventory, so meaning it's closer to a seller's market at 1.94 months of inventory. To give you an idea, during the pandemic, we saw about 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 months of inventory each month. So it was a much quicker moving market. Things were not lasting long. Now we see about double that. So it is quite a bit slower. So summarizing all of that, the number of homes available has gone way up. The number of sales over the multiple listing service has come down, but we are still seeing prices go up. So for buyers, that means there's a lot more to choose from right now than you might see in the past year market. For sellers, homes are going to take a little bit longer to sell, even though you might sell at a little bit of a higher price than last year. It's just going to take a little bit longer, so you do have to be patient. Now, when we look at the number of active listings, we've already talked about this, but in 2024, we're second from the top of the past 5 years. The only other time there were more active listings in the last 5 years for June was in 2019. So you can see on this chart, we've come up. So we've seen the number of new listings go up basically each month since January and reach the highest level it has reached this year in June of the past 6 months. Now, it was very similar last year in terms of the increase throughout the year, but there were far fewer homes actually listed in June 2023. We saw a lot more homes listed in 2023 around the September timeframe. And if you remember, right after that, we saw the interest rates go up. That was for active listings. Now, in terms of the number of new listings, so homes that came on the market this month, that is second to the lowest of the past 5 years. So the only other time that we had fewer new listings in this month was 2023 last year. So we do have more new listings in the month of June than we did in June of 2023, but not by a lot. So in 2024, we saw the most new listings in May of this year over the past 6 months, and then June followed by April. So since January, we've seen the number of listings basically increase until May, and now it has dropped down in June. Now, these are new homes that have been listed in June specifically, but still almost all of the months in 2024 are higher than what they were in 2023 in terms of new listings coming on the market. Now, the number of pending sales for 2024 is quite low compared to the last 5 years. 2024 and 2023 are pretty much equal. So we see a lot fewer homes going actually under contract than we have for the past 5 years. In 2023 and 2024, we're right at about 2,600 for 2023 and 2024, which has come down from May. So fewer people are actually going under contract in June than they were in May. What we've really noticed that a lot of people got out of school, went on their first family vacation of the summer. The weather did start to get nicer. People were more distracted. The interest rate was very volatile in June. All of those factors contribute to what's going on. Now, the number of closed sales, the lowest from the past 5 years in 2024. So we see that all other years in the past 5 years have had more sold listings, homes closed, than they have in 2024. And we are below what we saw in June of 2023. So the peak of 2024, when we saw the most closed homes, was May for sure. And those homes were probably going under contract in April. They may have been listed in April. They may have been listed in March. So again, earlier in the year, the better off you are as a seller in terms of getting a great price and selling your home quickly. Now, in terms of the months of inventory, we talked about this a little bit before. In King County specifically, June, we saw 2.2. That's up a little bit from 1.9 just in May, but it's way up from 2023 when we only saw 1.6 months of inventory. And as far as the median price goes, we are still at the top of the pack for the past 5 years. The median price for June of 2024 was right up here at the $650 mark. That is a little bit over what we saw last year, which was $625 we talked about in that press release. Specifically, this is across the entire Northwest Multiple Listing Service, and we are at the highest that we've seen for the past 5 years. So home prices are continuing to go up. Just because there's more homes on the market right now, we don't see a dip in the appreciation. So we have seen that come up about 3% since last year, 3 to 4%. Those are the stats from the June market in Seattle, King County, and the Northwest Multiple Listing Service. If you're thinking about buying a home, now may be a great time to get in because you do have a lot of opportunity. Even though the interest rate is higher, we'll see if that starts to come down. And there are creative negotiation tactics that we can use to get you a lower interest rate. So reach out if you're interested in buying. If you are thinking about selling, you'll want to be aware of how long your home may sit on the market before it gets an offer, that more competition is coming onto the market. And so you need to be very careful about how you price and present your home to get the best offer and get the most buyers in possible who are in your target buyer demographic. This is going to be more important now than ever, but don't worry, homes are still appreciating. It's not like they're going down. If you have other questions about the market, don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to help you and we're here to help. And if you have watched this far, I'd love if you subscribe to this channel and follow along for all of our market updates so you know exactly what's going on in the Seattle area real estate market. If you don't know anything about me, my name is Brennen. I left Microsoft years ago to start helping people invest in real estate and get super educated about what they want to buy and sell so that they can do it in a way that's impactful to their life. I'll talk to you next time.